Andor. It is a successful board game series from Germany. In 2019, they launched the Andor app, The King's Secret, as an attempt to bring the Andor experience to smartphones. But that isn't the first app they launched in context of Andor. Back in 2017, they launched The Adventures of Hadria. It was intended to be an experimental game, a game that's more just to test the waters to see if they could bring Andor to smartphones. It was available on smartphone devices and as a browser app. I remember playing it back in the day, thinking, not that much of it. It's like, okay, it's a little side story. Now, sadly, this app is no longer available, at least officially. It was taken offline at some point, and I don't know if they've made any official statement on why exactly. This was probably done so that it wouldn't compete with the newer Andor app they made. Besides, it was only an experimental app, available for free, and mostly just to get feedback on whether this actually worked on smartphones. Luckily, though, the APK file still is available, if you know where to look. I'll try and leave a link in the description. Now, there are playthroughs of this game on YouTube, but they're all in German, so I figure I'll do one in English because the English localization is just hilarious. You'll get what I mean. So here is the app. Now again, if we try to click on credits, it will attempt to take us to the site where it used to be hosted, but now it just links you back to the main Andor webpage, so unfortunately I won't be able to figure out who developed or who localized this game. Well, anyway, no further ado, let's switch to English, and one last thing. This game is intended to take place immediately after the end of the second main game, here, Journey to the North, so some minor spoilers ahead for those whom it concerns. Alrighty then, let's jump right in. The way to Era, or whatever this is pronounced. For years, the country of Hadria had suffered under the dispute between the two hostile sorcerer orders, but soon both heads will meet in the great stronghold of Era to negotiate a possible peace. Eara, the sorceress, was also invited to the meeting and did not have much time to get there in time. Time. Yeah, the wizard is canonically female. The stronghold of Era can be found on field 0. You can scroll with the mouse or your finger over the landscape to look around. If you are ready for your task, click on the arrow. Trust me, the funny stuff is coming. But before she went to Era, she had to do something else. In the struggles around Hadria, she and her friends had used powerful magic weapons. Some say that without these weapons, no victory could be achieved. 2 of the 3 magic weapons had been kept by their friends. But the third, perhaps the most powerful weapon, had remained here in Hadria. Only Eara knew where. Task: you must enter the field with a star. There you can collect the magic weapon. Important: you have to find the shortest way since you have only 5 hours time. To walk, you must click on the walk icon on Eara's figure. Then the possible new positions are displayed. Every step which you... why is this capital? Which you go... another cap will cost you an hour on the day track. Today you have only 5 hours. Aww. So I need to go over there. To activate items or tiles on fields, you must first end the walk action by clicking again on the walk icon. Why is this capital? Eara had found it, the flame sword named Varlion. Once it had served her well, but it used dark magic. That was the reason for the dispute between the sorcerer orders. Eara hoped the wise men of both orders would find a solution and conclude peace. Until then, she would keep Varlion well. Okay. Eara can click on objects like the swords to pick them up. Yeah. Oh, right. Now look into your inventory. Eara wears the sword. I mean, she's holding it. It will be great to you later in battle. You can still do nothing with it. In your inventory, you will also see how many strength points and will points you have. Yep. You have consumed the hours of your day and cannot take any more actions. Click on the tap to finish your day. The tap. Those who understand German know what's going on here, but for everyone else, this is the tap. Alright, let's click on the rooster. It was a cold night, and storms raged over the land of Hadria. Suddenly, Eara heard a roar. An avalanche had made the southern slope impassable. She had to hurry to get to the big meeting in time. Field 15 is now unavailable. Adventure destination. You must reach Field 0 before the narrator reaches letter C. The narrator moves a letter at every sunrise. Cool. Over here. You have now spent the 5th hour of your day. For each additional action, you must now work overtime. Work on? I haven't played the main games in English. I don't know if it's called working overtime. Each overtime costs you 2 wills. Will points or wills? Whatever. In the fields 4 and 5, you can see fog tiles. If you finish running in such a field, the wafer is uncovered. Oh yeah, let's go ahead. You can click on the drinking hose to add it to your inventory. You can click the drinking hose in your inventory to use it. Then you can go 2 fields without consuming time. Go then. Finally, Eara had reached the Feasts of Era on time. The sorceress saw some dark-dressed wizards. They were wizards of fire, from the other order. Among them was Varia, the leader. But then she heard the friendly voice of Torvens, the chief of her order. Eara, I'm glad to see you. Come in, warm up, he said. But when he saw the flame sword, he blanched. You're wearing it. Eara, this weapon is... Well, we'll be discussing what's going to happen. Congratulations, you have mastered the first adventure, but the next task is already waiting for you. Wonderful, you have mastered your task successfully. You can now continue writing the story. Alrighty then. You gonna load? Oh, you have to click actually, huh? Eara left the meeting room and stepped onto the snowy balcony. She enjoyed the silence as suddenly, was that the scraping of a creature down there in the yard, here in the fortress of Era? Task, you must defeat the creature in the inner courtyard. Cool. If you are in the same field with a creature and the action of running, you can... and the action of what? You can attack them. Okay. Let's go over to the monster then. The gore has 2 strength points, why is this capital? Which are added to its dice value. You have 3 strength points. Wait, but he has 2 strengths and I have 3 strength points. Okay. Now select the fighting symbol, then click on the gore to roll the dice. You have rolled a 5. Your 3 strength points are added, so you have a combat value of 8. Now the creature responds. The Night Gore rolls a 1 and a 4. Only its highest value counts and is added to its 2 strength points, i.e. a combat value of 6. The subordinate loses the difference of both combat values in will points. The Night Gore now has only 2 will points. Very good. He is defeated if it... Well, which is it? He or it? Decide. Click on the Night Gore again to fight another round. I mean, there are some capitalization and punctuation mistakes in German too, but this is just crazy. The Night Gore rolls 2 equal dice. Only in this case, the 2 dice values are added. You lost 1 point in this battle. Try again. Okay. If you have rolled a number less than 3, by which they actually mean 3 or less, you can work magic and turn the die to the opposite side. In this case, from a 2 to a 5. That will cost you 1 will point. You can also refuse it, then count the 2. Yeah, since it's a single-player game, there was no downside to turning the die. They added a downside to it. You have to pay a will point. Nightgores! Exclaimed Eara. The wizards came from the meeting room. Other Nightgores had climbed the stronghold of Era and attacked now. Congratulations, you have mastered the second adventure and the first creature repulsed. But how does the story go on? Will the wizards be able to ward off this cowardly attack? Wonderful, yeah, we saw that. The morning broke. Everyone was restless. During the night, in the middle of the negotiations, creatures had attacked the stronghold of Era. Yeah, this is why I don't think this is just Google Translate or whatever. I mean, even Google Translate doesn't spell things wrong. It was a nightmare, but now as the cold light glittered in the morning mist, the wizards realized that the horror had just begun. The creatures attacked and besieged the stronghold of Era. Was it by chance that they attacked on the day of the Great Assembly? Task: you must, if the narrator reaches H... Is there missing it? Have at least 6 faith in sorcery. From this adventure onwards, your faith in sorcery is displayed for the first time. From this adventure, you start with 12 faith. At sunrise, you lose faith in sorcery for each creature on the field. If a creature is at sunrise on field 025, you lose 2 instead of 1 for this creature. You gain new faith in sorcery when you defeat a creature and choose faith as a reward. Cool. So this can't go below, what was it, 6? If you finish the action on a field with a well, you can click on the well and get 3 will points immediately. Each will can be used once a day. The fog tiles contain good as well as bad. Let's start off by going here, because, ooh, strength. Cool to have. Fogger, let's take the will. Attack. Sure. Arr. You have now consumed 7 hours of the day. Each additional action costs you 2 wills. If you want to end your day, click on the cock of the sunrise field. Yes, they actually say cock here. This thing that used to be a tap, it's a cock now. Hooray. Come on. Thank you. Strength. The narrator does not only move at sunrise, but also for each defeated creature, it moves 1 letter further. This guy. Okay, yeah, that's it for now. Click on the cock then. You don't actually need to kill all the monsters, but it certainly can't hurt. Arr. Arr. Choose your reward, more strength. Suddenly, Eara heard a distant scream. Presently, a large bird came down to her in wide spirals. A magnificent animal with snow-white plumage. The Falcon of Era. Eara knew that the wizards sent him to deliver news. But instead of a message, he wore Varleon, the flame sword in his claws. He carried. Eara picked up the sword. Was it now allowed to use the dark magic of the sword? Was it allowed? You can click on the flame sword in your inventory. Then you have plus strength points in the next combat round. Woohoo! It costs you 4 faith in magic. In the magic. You can only use the sword once in the game. In the adventure, I think. Eara still doubted when she suddenly heard the falcon's voice in her head. Take the sword, Eara, for the Naraks are attacking. For this reason, the sword was sent to her. These mermaids were far more powerful than ordinary Nightgores. Yeah, these guys. Well, it's not going to be too many sunrises. He's not going to make it all the way there. Let's try and, see what's here. When you click the light spell in your inventory, all creatures which are in the field in which your figure is standing are moved to adjacent fields. Could have been phrased better, but what you gonna do? Let's go to the next day. Okay, now we need to start worrying about the faith count here. Let's pick on the little guy first. For now, let's do strength. Another Nightgore comes from the distant lands and appears before the ravine of Ira. Which one's the ravine? Oh, it's that guy. Can we take on this guy right now? Sort of. Come on. You can no longer do any actions because you have only one will point and would need at least 3 to make another overtime. Yeah, okay, let's get some faith here. Still at 1, so let's just... The Ira's horns echoed through the valleys of Hadria and ordered all wizards to retreat. Iara had bravely beaten and returned to the Stromg... Why is it still Stromghold? They actually had Stronghold in the earlier chapters. Now it's suddenly Stromghold. Were the different chapters translated by different people? She had defended the creatures and did not lose their faith. Wait, she had defended and lost their faith. But how well did the other magicians? How well did they fare? How did they do? Based on the award-winning board game Legends of Andor. Cool. Let's do Adventure 4. Now, I remember back in the day when I first played this when it came out, there were still a few patches of German text left in the English localization. Now, this is not the case anymore, which tells me that they did update the game at some point, but still left a whole bunch of mistakes in, because, I don't know. After a long struggle at the gates of Iraz, many wizards had not returned. Torvin, the supreme magician of the tower, was also missing. When Iara heard this, she became uneasy, for Torvin had been her mentor and she owed him a lot. She would have liked to find him at once, but that was impossible, for the gates of the feasts were closed. The wizards of both orders met in the courtyard. Varia, the sorceress of the fire, complained, "Without dark magic, we will never stop the creatures. Someone must go into the underworld and create new magical weapons there, as Orwain once did." After the events of the last night, their proposal met even among many a magician of the tower. "But how is that going, Master?" I think you're missing quotation marks. Asked Koraf, one of the oldest wizards of the tower. "No one knows where the entrance to the Hadrian underworld is. No one, for Orwain, who created the magical weapons down there, had all those who had this knowledge locked into the Iron Tower." "Not all," Varia replied. "The Hermit knows." A whisper was now passing through the ranks. "The Hermit had been hiding from Orwain," continued Varia, "and still lives in Spitzburg. So we believe it at least. So we believe. We think so, or we believe so. So we believe it at least." "So let anyone go and ask him," said another magician. "But who? So let someone." "Me," called a young magician of the fire. "My name is Vernon, and I will take it upon me." The wizards of the tower looked at the young black-dressed magician. A dark aura surrounded this man, which was obvious. "Agreed, but then also a magician of the tower accompany you. Thus both orders send a messenger. Who should it be?" "I'll go with him." This is spoken, not this. "I'll go with him," Ayara said, standing up. All the while, she had hardly listened to the conversation. She had hardly listened to and thought of her missing mentor. Now it was possible to leave the fortress and find Torvin. "So be it," said Koraf. Ayara and Vernon left the party the same day. Task: you must enter Field 35 and meet the Hermit. You must never fall to 0 faith. Okay. Ah, there's Vernon. The figure of Vernon will move at sunrise onto your field. In the fight against a creature, Vernon, when he is with you in the field, adds 4 strength points. Yeah. So wherever you rest for the day, he appears and you have fighting strength there. This is the light spell again. Need to get the other spells because the text there is a bit misleading and requires explanation. Minus will points. Strength. It's overtime, but oh well. I'm gonna need more will, but strength. Era was on her way to the hermit, but secretly she hoped to find Torvin. When she looked, she saw a deep ravine in the distance, and before that a dark silhouette. To get from field 29 to field 30, you will need 8 will. 8 will points. There is also a seat roll, which blocks... seat roll, which blocks the way. It does not move at sunrise. Over here, we need 8 wills to go over, and we need to get rid of that guy. What? What happened? Yeah, there's still some bugs, huh? Come on. Maybe if I use this? No. Can I use this? I'm stuck here. Help. Well, I guess I'll have to try the mission again. Unless I can still make it. Oh right, I was out of that. That's why. I'm out of wills, so I can't really. There, let's get some will points. That's why I was out of that. Let's get some more wills. Even more Naroks flooded the country. Oh, I think I'm gonna run out of faith here, because, yeah, unfortunately you failed with your adventure. Try it again. I will. When you click the healing spell in your inventory, you will get the first place of the field on which your figure stands as wills. What does this mean? Now, let's say you're on field 15 and you get the first place as wills. Do you get 1 will point or do you get 5? Well, the answer is you get 5, even though 1 here would be the first place when reading. They actually mean the ones space, as opposed to the tens space or the hundreds space. The first space is actually supposed to be 1 space, so you want to use this on field 19 or something. They messed that one up in the localization. Thank you. Now we should probably keep our faith up. Now if we end the day here, the buddy Torvin will be here, and then we get more strength to fight these guys. Even more Naroks flooded the country. Yeah, now we gotta... I mean, these guys decrease the faith count by more because they're here, but this way I have the strength boost. Going to need will to get over the ravine. Oh, come on. That's better. Well, there is a 29 right there. I can use that thing there. Let's go strength. Yeah, the faith should be enough to last the day. Let's end the turn here, and then Vernon can join us. Oh yeah, let's get 9 wills. Alrighty. You can only kill 1 monster, and then... yeah, well, it'll work. Come on. Come on. There we go. Let's have faith just in case. Alrighty, we just need to get here, and then that's the end. Finally, Eara had succeeded in reaching Spitzberg. Soon after, she reached Vernon. No, soon afterwards Vernon reached it, right? The Spitzberg was an ancient fortress from a time before Adria passed the eternal winter. Eara pounded cautiously. How do you pound cautiously? And soon she heard footsteps and a thin creaking voice. Who's there? Lord, we ask you to enter. Is he a lord? We are Vernon and Eara, messengers of the two sorcerers' orders. Wizard? How? What? No, I do not open my gates. I do not... no, too dangerous. Go away. I have not invited you. Leave. Eara stood as if petrified before the gate. The wind blew coldly and piercingly, and in the distance howled creatures. Vernon shouted, Listen, old man. If you do not open your door instantly, I will burn down your whole house. Understand? Would this be a question mark? Oh, little boy, if you are not more powerful than the great Orwain himself, who 100 years ago roared like something in front of my gates. Yeah, makes sense in German, sort of. Roaring like something. I do not worry. Turn around. It's cold out here. Are this quotation supposed to go farther? Eara looked at Vernon at a loss. As the story continues, you will find in the next adventure The Hermit. More info. Okay, last mission. It was night, and Eara and Vernon were still standing in front of the Hermit's closed gate. You must let us in, sir, cried Eara. The Order needs your advice. Both orders. The Orders do not care me anymore. It whispered from with... Why do they keep messing up the quotation? Quotation marks. Fanatics on both sides, hollowheads, they do not bother me anymore, and I'm safe here. But the creatures picked up Eara. You're back. The Hermit What? The Hermit added. Yes, I bet while we're talking here, several Naraks have slipped, ready to come out as soon as I open my gate. And then keep it up for this Arog. Keep it up? Keep it up for this Arog. Yes, Arog, you heard correctly. He's been driving around here for some time. Driving what? I'll make you a suggestion, great wizard. Defeat him. Defeat the Arog, and I open my gate for you. Yes, defeat this Arog, and I know that you are powerful enough to protect me. But an Arog is much too. This is my last word. Defeat the Arog, and I'll let you in. If you do not, then you freeze. Task. You must defeat the Arog. Its position is not known throughout the whole adventure. That's... Also, you must never fall to zero faith. Okay. Can I at least see? Yes. Right, so in the beginning you might want to fight this guy, but you don't have to. Might be better to focus on stronger enemies. Using the well here does give you enough will points to cross. There we go. Let's see what's in the fog. Ugh. Might have to do this one. Oh, come on. Yeah. Well, the least I can do is rest in a place where a monster is going to be, so Vernon can be there to help me out. There we go. Get some strength. While Vernon and Eara looked out for the Arog, Eara suddenly saw something in the snow. Not far, she recognized a figure almost completely snowed. It was Torvin, her mentor. Eara rushed to him. He was still conscious, but very weak. Eara, you're it! Gasped Torvin. You're it! Vernon joined the two. We have to take him to the hermit. Everything else would take too long. But we must find the Arog and defeat it, Eara replied irritably. Torvin moved. I wear a particular object, the Horn of Morning Sound. It will elicit the Arog. Eara, use it if you are strong enough to defeat him. You receive the horn. You can use it one time in the running adventure. Then the Arog will appear on the field, which is less by 4 as your current field number. Important. At the end of the day, the Arog disappears and the adventure is lost. Eara covered Torvin. I will come again and save you, master. Enough of that. So I play the horn and then the monster appears, but build up some strength points first. Can I fight this guy on my own? Well, not like that. Yeah, I may have lost this one, but what you gonna do? When you click the wind spell in your inventory, all misty plates, they were wafers last time, which are adjacent to your figure, are revealed. Oh, I can't move back. Good. Now Vernon's there, and that doesn't help me. Yeah, I think I lost this one. Unless I can somehow get both of them here. Nope, faith is 0. Let's go. Let's have another go. Now let's see what luck we have with the... Oh, yes, healing spell. That is good to have. Will I be on field 19 anytime? Which one is it? Oh, this one's 19. Yeah, I'll go by there later. Having better RNG this time. Now let's go to where's... Wait a minute. The Nerox is going to be here. So I should wait here. Then I have Vernon to help me with the stronger monster. There we go. Finally. Build up some strength. Yeah, you're it. Still weird. Go past here. Okay, wait, which one's going to be here? Well, I don't think it matters. Let's go to 19 and, what's this? Oh, the wind spell. Hey, that's useful. Let's, hey, now I know I don't want to end my walking there. Whole lot of will points. Oh, none of them ended up here. Oh well. Arr. Come on. Arr. Some more strength. Get another Nerox and Agora were spotted in the country. Can I beat this guy? Maybe. Hey, actually got him. Have some faith. I can take 2 steps. Nah, let's... Eara's skills grew with each passing day. Now, finally, they could see the invisible statues of the old wizard. In these places, the power was palpable. In these fields 14 and 26, you have 2 additional strength points in the fight. Awesome. 14. Right, that means we need to end the day here, so Vernon can be there. And then I need to go to field 18 to play the horn so that the monster, the Arog, appears in field 14. Alrighty. Oh! Vernon's here to help. With this dude. Arr. Wow. 5. Is that gonna last me? Yeah, I think it should. Oughta. We have 1, 2, 3 spaces to go. Right, I can't fight any more monsters. Need to go for the final boss now. Oh, pfft. Great. End the turn here. Go to field 18. Play the horn. Like a hill in the snowy landscape suddenly loomed up the Arog. Attracted by the sound of the horn, in the morning. The horn in the morning. Oh, it had a different name earlier, just as it was predicted by Torvin. There he is. Now we gotta hope that 4 turns are enough to take him out. Because I don't have enough faith to use the sword. Need these guys help. Vernon's here. Let's go for it. Oh, come on. Huh. Well, that's the end of this one. I didn't have enough strength or enough faith. Because maybe with the sword I could have done it. Let's try it again. And there we go. Let's have another go at it. How much strength did I have last time? Less than 10. Yeah, that looks a lot better. Eara and Vernon had defeated the Arog. While Vernon got Torvin, Eara ran as fast as she could to the Spitzberg. When she reached the Great Gate, she was astonished, for it was already wide open. Inside, she expected a man hardly more than 40 years, handsome and dressed in a garland of silk. But the voice was still croaking and ancient. "Welcome, Eara. I am Zoran, the Hermit." And suddenly, Eara was a great fatigue. How does that happen? She could barely hold on to her feet. Her last thought before she lost consciousness was Torvin. How will the story continue? Can the Hermit help continue Eara to find the hidden entrance to Hadria's underworld? And if so, will she create more magic weapons there? As the story continues, you will learn another time. Because that is the end of this game. Unfortunately, I don't think this particular arc has been continued anywhere in the Andor franchise as of now. Now, Eara, or the wizard character, does reappear in the 3rd main game, so we do know that she or they got out of there. But yeah, that story is gone now. I don't know if this part of the story has been adapted into anything, or is officially available anymore, so yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed. Have a good day.